Corporate earnings and corporate conversations, then, and Tata Power is the next company on our radar. The stock, I think, opened slightly lower this morning. The first quarter performance is largely above street estimates. And we have with us Mr. Praveer Sinha, Managing Director and CEO of the company, to give us an outlook on the business now. Mr. Sinha, good morning. Thank you very much for joining in, sir. So first, a broad brush question, right? I mean, this has been a strange summer. Power demand, those headlines that we were used to every year, right? That peak power demand is shooting through. It actually didn't happen this year. In fact, it has undershot even the government's estimates, peak power demand during the entire summer season, which is why the government has removed that Section 11 as well, which was directing all plants to keep operating, right? And after that, even your Mundra plant, that's been shut down. So let's start with the broad overview. The fact that this has been a weak summer, could that weigh on the performance in the coming quarters as well? And what is your plan with respect to Mundra now that the Section 11 has been removed and the plant is in shutdown mode?
Good morning. Thank you for having me on your show. I think this has been a very strange summer, but so also has been the previous years when we had very high temperatures. So I think the impact of climate change is for us to see and understand that things are not going to be the same year after year. We'll have peak summers and we'll have very heavy rains. So we need to be ready for that. Having said that, I think we expect that this year the demand of power will be very muted. We do not expect a very high demand, unlike previous years because of a longish monsoon. But we do expect that the demand will possibly pick up to the last year level in the months of September, October, when the monsoon gets over and the heat is there and the humidity is there. So that's what is our expectation. As you know, that we have a very diversified portfolio. So it's not just dependent on the consumption, but it is also dependent on some of the other services that we provide. Our existing capacities, all our coal-based plants, they are very, very competitive and they are in merit order. So all of them actually are operating at full capacity. We didn't have any challenge as far as the existing. Our transmission distribution continue to do well. Our Odisha Discoms did very well, and you have seen that their performance have improved tremendously.
Absolutely, sir. And we'll get to all of that one by one. Absolutely, Odisha has been, shining bright in the performance. But just to complete that picture, so one important, takeaway is that you're saying that though demand is likely to be muted for power this year, your plants are working at full capacity. So, I'm guessing if you could just give us the PLF range as well, blended PLF range, and also specifically that question on Mundra, what do you have in mind now that Section 11 has been revoked?
So, as I mentioned to you, that our plants are very, very competitive, and that's why they continue to operate at very high PLF and availability. All of them have more than 90% availability, and we get paid on basis of availability and not on basis of PLF. So that takes care of our existing operations in generating plants. As far as Mundra is concerned, it was operating under Section 11 till 30th June. Thereafter, since the demand reduced, the Section 11 was not extended. We have been in discussions with all the 5 procurer states. What is important to see is that Mundra is a very cost competitive plant compared to many other procurement that these 5 states do. In merit order, it stands out. Also in terms of the power that they procured from the exchange, the tariff of Mundra is much lower than the cost at which they are procuring. So it makes a business sense for everyone to have settlement which will ensure that this plant operates. We are in very, very advanced stage with all the 5 states, and we do expect that within the month of August, we'll be in a position to close most of the issues with the states and ensure that it becomes a win-win for everyone, because if the plant operates, it gives very competitive tariff to the procurers, and to us, we are able to operate the plant in a much more financially sustainable manner.
Okay, all right, Mr. Sinha, good morning. That's good to hear. So in the month of August, we will hear some PPAs, etc., being struck, right? We will with these 5 states. It's been going on for a long time, and hopefully we will see that this month now. Just one thing, sir. You said, what is your now? Have you revised your estimate for power demand overall this year? You began by saying you're expecting a muted demand.
Yeah, so we were expecting that in summer we'll have a peak demand of 260 gigawatt. That did not happen. Monsoons came around 15th of May, and we only saw very few days where it reached 250 gigawatt, and since then it has been mostly in 220 to 230 range. We do expect September, October the demand to increase. Because once the monsoon is over, the humidity kicks in, and that leads to increase in air conditioning demand. But definitely not to the level of 260 that we were maybe in the range of more like 240 to 250 range. So that's what we expect. But I think many of our plants which are operating at very, very cost-reflective tariff, they will be in a position to operate at full capacity.
Okay. Just very quickly, Mr. Sinha, what is your renewable energy capacity at the end of the first quarter? And could you give us a guidance for F5 for the full year?
So we have about 5,600 megawatt, and we expect to add another 1,600 megawatt in this financial year. So as you are aware, we normally do our own projects as well as we do third-party projects. Most of the third-party projects will get over in this quarter. And thereafter, all the capacity adds will majorly be for our own utility scale projects.
Okay. So now coming to the DISCOM business, I mean, given the success that you've had with Odisha and losses are coming down substantially over there, what's the progress with UP? I think you've already shown some interest there, but what stage are we at in terms of bids?
So UP, the bids are expected. You know that these things go through various approvals, including the regulatory approval, and I think UP Power Corporation has been in discussions with the regulator to finalize that. We do expect that within August, the bid documents should come out. It has gone through a huge amount of consultative process between various stakeholders, and we should be in a position to bid in those projects.
Okay. So finally, before we let you go, I mean, I just wanted to get your view as a large market participant on a big regulatory change that we're seeing in the whole power chain, right? I'm talking about market coupling becoming a formal reality, and no single exchange is now going to have dominance on the way the power trading market is playing out in the country. From a Tata Power perspective, and a lot of it for you, it's all long-term PPAs, but I'm just trying to understand if there's anything that you do sell onto the exchange, and just in a more general sense, what does market coupling mean for spot prices, the day-ahead prices, in general, even the term-ahead market for that matter, in terms of power rates, if anything?
So basically what we see is that there are 3 players in the power trading. Of course, there is just one who is the biggest amongst all of them and does nearly 90% of the trading. What is also to be seen is that overall, not even 10% of our power is through the exchange. And to that extent, I think there is a necessity to make it more deeper. As a country, we should have at least 20-25% of our power being channeled through the exchanges. I think if the market coupling takes place and everyone works very closely with each other in a collaborative manner, there is an opportunity to extend the trading of power that takes place and make it more deeper. I think all these are steps towards making the power markets more cost reflective and more reflective in terms of the demand supply. So it's a good step. I personally feel that this will take some time to stabilize, including some of the other initiatives on futures that is coming in. and some of the derivatives in power futures. So I think we should take it more positively than getting too apprehensive about these type of changes.
Okay, and very quickly, sir, are you looking at buying out the partners in research and power ventures?
Well, we keep on discussing many opportunities, and that, of course, is also true for the resurgent. So these are always under discussion, but we can't say anything unless it gets firmed up.
Always a pleasure talking to you, Mr. Sinha. Thanks a lot for joining in. We look forward to chatting up with you as the year progresses. Moving from power, let's move to real estate.